following days of widespread power outage that crippled households and business. Aceh Provincial Legislature is now firmly demanding PLN provide financial compensation to affected customers. After a series of accidents and injuries caused by falling branches, officials in Langkat are facing urgent call to implement a systematic rejuvenation program for the region's aging and endangered roadside set trees. Fresh off their first victory of the season, PSMS Medan aims to build momentum as they host a determined Sriwijaya FC, with star striker Philip Cadenaji declared fully fit and ready for the crucial home match. And that's just a glimpse of what's ahead. We have a full broadcast for you tonight, Saturday, October 4, 2025. We are committed to growing as your leading source for news, and your support helps make that happen. Please take a moment to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comment section. I'm Nurjakia Khairani Siregar, and this is What's Up Today. Imagine 3 days with no power for countless families and businesses across Banda Aceh, PD and other districts. That was the difficult reality this week. Now that the lights are finally back on, the conversation is shifting from restoration to restitution. Lawmakers are implying public protestation demanding PLN pay for the disruption. The utility says the grid is stable, but the question remains, will residents see relief for their losses? And how soon? We have the detail on the demand and PLN official response.
Aceh's most significant blackout in recent memory commenced on Monday, September 29, 2025, cascading in waves across the province through Wednesday night. The disruption stemmed from a generation shortfall estimate at around 250 megawatts, which forced extensive load shedding, though PLN maintained priority for critical infrastructure like hospital and public service facilities. After days of uncertainty, PLN officially announced on Thursday, October 2nd, that the electrical system across Aceh had been fully restored to 100% capacity at 12/7 WIB. The company issued a formal apology for the prolonged inconvenience, confirming that field teams would remain on high alert to ensure grid stability. However, as power returned, public and political pressure intensified. The Aceh Provincial Legislature's Commission 3, led by Chairperson Aisyah Ismail, publicly declared that an apology was insufficient. The Commission formally called for PLN to compensate customers for documented financial losses and damaged electronic appliances, arguing that the utility service had fallen drastically below the required national standard. This demand was fueled by widespread reports from affected communities detailing everything from failed weather pumps and collapsed communication network to small business being forced to close early and discard thousands of dollars in spoiled inventory. By mid-Thursday, PLN reiterated its commitment to a transparent review of the incident's causes and timelines to prevent a recurrence and determine appropriate remedies for its customers. The next phase is regulatory, as Indonesia Electricity Service Quality Rules provide a framework for automatic bill reduction when service indicators fall below national targets. Commission 3 agrees Aceh's situation clearly meets the criteria for this protection, while PLN maintains that an official evaluation must first confirm the scope and mechanism for any potential payouts. From Aceh, with analysis from our Medan newsroom, the media publikasi team has the story for What's Up Today.
In Indonesia, compensation for power outage is a regulated process, not a direct cash payment. Under national ministerial regulation, if official data confirm that service reliability, such as the duration and frequency of blackouts, falls below a set standard, customers are legally entitled to an automatic reduction on a future electricity bill. The Aceh legislature is demanding PLN apply this rule following the recent outage. However, PLN must first conduct a formal investigation to verify the technical data before any adjustment can be concluded and issued in a subsequent billing cycle. The lights are back on, but the pressure is still high. The real test for PLN now is whether its communication on compensation and prevention plans is as clear and swift as its restoration announcement. We continue to track the development and any real-life timelines for the people of Aceh. After a week dominated by blackouts, the region power authority is moving to prevent a repeat performance. That's what took officials to the massive Pangkalan Susu power plant today. They were on the ground in Langkat for a top-to-bottom reliability check, sending a clear message to the public. After the scare in Aceh, the focus is now squarely on securing the grid and minimizing any chance of future surprises.
At the sprawling Pangkalan Susu Power Complex in Langkat on Friday, October 3rd, leadership from PLN's North Sumatra Main Distributions Unit, or UID Sumut, led the hands-on field review. The inspection covered every critical stage of the power generation process, from cold handling and logistics at the jetty to the in-trace boiler, turbine operation and real-time coordination in the central control room. Following the audit, the team reported that all generating units were operating under normal conditions, full stock pills were stable and secure, and system monitoring would remain at a heightened state as regional electricity demand typically rises heading into the fourth quarter. Media outlets in Medan at the sprawling Pangkalan Susu Power Complex in Langkat on Friday, October 3rd, leadership from PLN's North Sumatra Main Distributions Unit, or UID Sumut, led the hands-on field review. The inspection covered every critical stage of the power generation process, from cold handling and logistics at the jetty to the in-trace boiler, turbine operation and real-time coordination in the central control room. Following the audit, the team reported that all generating units were operating under normal conditions, full stock pills were stable and secure, and system monitoring would remain at a heightened state as regional electricity demand typically rises heading into the fourth quarter. Media outlets in Medan and Langkat characterized the high-profile visit as a proactive measure with an international push to guarantee steady voltage and frequency, particularly during peak consumption hours. While capacity description of the plant varies slightly by source, its strategic importance is undisputed. Several local reports describe a 4 times 200 MW configurations, consistently referring to the site as a backbone asset for the region. Meanwhile, earlier national business coverage documented the addition of Unit 3 and 4, which came online as 2 times 210 MW units in the 2018 until 2020 period to expand baseload resources from North Sumatra. Regardless of the precise nameplate mathematics, Pangkalan Susu's role is unequivocal. It is one of the largest and most critical baseload anchors feeding the interconnected North Sumatra grid, or Sumatra bagian utara. Officials were careful to frame the audit as a presentative action rather than a reactive one, coming just one day after the resolution of a major crisis in Northern Corridor. PLN is signaling that this routine but vital checks, from the courtyard to the dispatcher's console, are central to their strategy for reducing the risk of prolonged interruptions. From Langkat, the media publikasi news team reports for WhatsApp Today.
The Pangkalan Susu Complex is baseload power plant, acting as the foundation of the regional electrical grid. Unlike smaller plants used for peak demand, baseload stations provide a massive, constant stream of power 24/7. The failure of a single large unit creates a sudden, immense power deficit that is difficult for the system to replace quickly, risking a grid collapse and triggering widespread blackouts. This inherent vulnerability is why PLN inspection focused on granting core operational readiness, from fuel supply to equipment health to ensure the grid's foundational stability. It's the behind-the-scenes work that keeps the lights on. Today's inspection was all about routine checks and maintenance, but after the week we've had, that's exactly the kind of unglamorous, reassuring story everyone needs to hear. It might sound like bureaucratic paperwork, but a new deal between Medan City Hall and PLN could have a real impact on your wallet and your service by changing up their data. The city is aiming to make electricity charge more trackable and public complaints easier to track and resolve. The signing brought top officials together, signaling a renewed push for accountability on one of the most essential public services.
The newly inked agreement between the Medan city government and PLN operates on two parallel tracks. The first component is designed to streamline the collection and remittance of the PBJT, a specific local tax on goods and services, including electricity. Under the pact, this process will be tightly integrated into the city's financial workflows, allowing for faster and more accurate reconciliation of tax revenue. The second track focuses on the city's own electricity accounts for public facilities like street lights and government buildings. This will now be managed under stricter reporting protocols, enabling auditors to more easily test financial controls and identify inefficiencies. The signing ceremony was chaired by Mayor Riko Tri Putra Bayu Waas, with senior PLN managers Edisi Saputra, Hiro Pingkir Pardede, and Ramses Hutajulu representing their respective service units. In remarks distributed via the city's official portal, the mayor emphasized that electricity is a fundamental public need and that professionalism and accountability must be visible and tangible to all citizens. The agreement is also being interpreted as a subtle but firm nudge to PLN to improve its responsiveness, particularly in light of the week's regional reliability concerns. Officials have indicated that improved data sharing should significantly reduce disputes over municipal bills, especially for street lighting, and help the city better schedule and fund energy efficiency projects across its various agencies. While residents should not expect overnight changes, this kind of administrative overhaul focuses on cleaner data, clearer rules, and shared monitoring dashboards is a proven method for producing faster fixes and fewer billing surprises down the line. From Medan, the Media Publikasi News Team reports for WhatsApp Today.
This agreement enhances financial transparency and surface accountability between Medan and PLN. It creates a direct data sharing system for the PBJT, a local tax on electricity collected by PLN, allowing the city to track this public revenue in real time and improve fiscal oversight. It also establishes a clearer paper trail for municipal power users, like street light, to reduce billing dispute and enable better energy efficiency planning. For residents, this administrative overhaul is designed to leverage stricter oversight into more reliable, responsive service and a more effective system for resolving public complaints. The paperwork is now signed and official. The rule proof, however, will be in the follow-through. Residents will be looking for fairer billing services, quicker refresh when the power goes out, and a clear sense that someone is accountable. We'll be right back with more news from across the region. Stay with us. Welcome back. We have two stories from Langkat for you now. First, a coalition of Malay community groups is praising the region for a leadership change in its planning and tourism department. And second, a call for urgent action to rejuvenate the Regency Azing endangered shade trees. Here's the first report. A group of community leaders in Langkat delivered a direct and public message to their agents today. It's time for a change. They're demanding the removal of 2K department heads, accusing them of failing to follow chalk and laws, meant to protect and promote local Malay culture. The region responds was cautious, promising a review instead of immediate action, setting the stage for a political test of wills in the days ahead.
The pressure in Langkat has been steadily building around a single, powerful theme, turning policy into practice. On Thursday, October 2nd, the Forum Melayu Langkat Bersatu gathered at the Regents' office in Stabat, armed with a written set of demands. Their core complement centers on a series on local regulations, specifically Perda 4/2024 and Perbu 34/2024, which they say provide a clear legal backbone for advancing regional culture through dedicated budgets, program, and public outreach. In their assessment, the leadership of two key departments, tourism and Bapeda, have failed to translate these instructions into meaningful fieldwork. The forum's spokesperson identified as said, state plainly that the current tourism chief have been long in the position for too long without producing visible progress. He argued that the strategic development plans originating from Bapeda have not yet been updated to properly accommodate and culture advancement mandate laid out in 2024 by law. The group also argued the region to give greater attention to the preservation of Malay royal heritage site, which claim it risks at the neglect under the current administrations. In response, Regent Shah Al-Fadin, often known as Ondem, stated that he wouldn't be rushed into making personal changes. Instead, he framed the protest as a valuable opportunity to audit the leadership and performance of these leading sectors. Crucially, he invited Malay representatives to participate directly in the evaluation process so they can see the data and help shape for the next step. From Stabat, this is the Media Publikasi News team reporting for What's Up Today.
This conflict centers on cultural enhancement by law, which is only effective if the regional planning agency, Bapeda, integrates its goals into the official budget. Without this key step, other departments like tourism and cultural lack the legal and financial authority to fund festivals, preserve heritage sites, or implement cultural programs. Protesters are demanding this bureaucratic logjam be clear with concrete, measurable targets. The region promise of a community monitor evaluation is now under scrutiny. Its credibility hangs on producing swift, tangible results like revised work plans and clear leadership decisions. The bottom line here is simple. The community has made a clear demand, and the official response is to evaluate then act. If that evaluation is transparent and moves quickly, it could build trust. But if it drags on, you can expect the pressure to return off the street of Stabat. It's a danger hiding in plain sight. Old brittle trees lining busy street after another rider was injured by a falling branch in Langkat. A provincial lawmaker is calling for urgent action. He says the time for reactive trimming is over and demanding a full-scale rejuvenation program. But the local government says it's doing what it can with the limited tools it has, raising a tough question: how long until the next accident?
This public safety appeal has led after a particularly hazardous transition from the dry to the wet season in Langkat. On August 28, a large falling tree in Stabat injured 3 people, requiring them to hospitalize and sharply focusing public attention on the dangers of weak tree trunks and heavy, unstable canopies along major commuter routes. The incident was the last in a string of similar cases documented by local media and citizen videos. Each time, the pattern has been tragically familiar: a sudden gust of wind, the crack of a brittle bench, an unlucky rider or pedestrian below. In his statement, DPRD Deputy Speaker Ricky Anthony called for a serious and continuous rejuvenation program, emphasizing that sporadic one-off the streams are no longer sufficient. He framed the risk as a structural problem tied directly to tree age and systemic gaps in maintenance. His warning was backed by a growing pile of public complaints from residents living along densely populated corridors. Responding to the pressure, the acting head of the Langkat Environment Office, Erwin Bakari, acknowledged the problem. He stated that crews are indeed at work but are severely hampered by a critical lack of equipment, admitting that the single lift truck is capable of covering all the regency, sub-district and the required pitch. This admission now puts the next edition squarely on the regal's decks. Will the administration rent or purchase additional equipment, and will it prioritize high-risk zones near school, market, and roads with the highest traffic counts? From Stabat, the Media Publikasi News Team report for WhatsApp Today.
This issue is framed as a critical matter of public safety, where aging urban trees pose a lethal risk to road users, particularly motorcyclists. The solution is proactive urban forest management, a systematic approach involving regular planning, a long-term plan to replace brittle species, and a public tree inventory. Currently, the primary obstacle is this Environment Office confessed lack of specialist equipment, such as lift trucks. Therefore, the government next expected step is the present on concrete plan for procuring this equipment and to publish a transparent public schedule for the necessary maintenance work. The measure of success here is simple. Residents need to see crew on the street before the next major storm hits. A public schedule, another truck, and a clear checklist can turn this high-risk corridor into much safer commute. We follow the equipment plan and the progress on the ground. Still ahead, a police narcotic sweep in Labuhan Batu, and we check in on PSMS Medan crucial match day outlook. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We begin this segment with a target narcotic operation in Labuhan Batu. Then we switch our focus to the football pitch, where PSMS is set to host Sriwijaya FC this afternoon. First, the police raid. Acting on tips from concerned citizens, police in Labuhan Batu move in on what they believe is hub for local drug dealing. While the raid didn't net any arrests this time, officers say they found plenty of evidence that meth was being used and sold there. The operation sends a clear signal to dealers that they are being watched. But residents say the real test will be sustained police pressures.
The raid on Thursday, October 2nd, showcases a police tactic that is becoming increasingly common across Labuhan Batu, act swiftly on community intelligence, disrupt known hotspots, and methodically build evidence for future target arrests. Led by Ibda Syafrudi Harahap of the Bila Hulu Sector Police, the team moved into the Mualmas area with village heads present as observers. Photo release from the operation show officers dismantling and burning improvised bombs and collecting a digital scale alongside empty plastic sachets, items all consistent with a low-level meth packaging and distribution chain. The head of Bila Hulu Sector, AKP Edisi confirmed that patrols and protect law enforcement's action will continue in the area as a visible deterrent. Recent crime reports for the region confirm this trend, chronicling related action by the same unit, including the arrest of several alleged dealers and seizures of small gram-level packages of meth. This pattern suggests that the same drug corridors remain active even after disruptions, requiring a sustained and persistent police presence. For residents, police are advising two key actions: continue reporting suspicious activity and vehicle driving at odd hours, and crucially, avoid sharing rumors for upcoming raids on social media, which can easily tip off the targets. For investigators, the measurable next step is to convert the paraphernalia found at scene into actionable leads, potentially through surveillance control buys or forensic analysis where feasible. Reporting from Labuhan Batu, the media publikasi news team for WhatsApp Today.
Raid without immediate arrest are a police tactic focused on disruption, not failure. Street-level drug operations are often mobile and use lookouts, making on-site arrest difficult. The primary goal is to break the dealer operational cycle by seizing essential equipment like scale and packaging. Repeat sweep increase the risk on cost-pull dealers, disrupting the local supply chain. The crucial next step is forensic analysis of the seized paraphernalia. If this evidence can be linked to suspects from recent arrests, police can then secure new arrest warrants based on the findings. No arrests were made this time, but the message has been sent. Police are watching Mualmas. The next marker of real progress, however, will be named suspect and seized narcotic, not just discarded paraphernalia. We'll track any follow-up from the Bilah Hulu police. It's match day in Medan, and the momentum feels like it's on PSMS side. After a shaky start of the season, the Ayam Kinantan finally found their winning form last week. Now they have a chance to make it 2 in a row at home against a top Sriwijaya FC. With their star striker fit again and a new captain leading the charge, the goal is simple and clear: score all 3 points.
The stakes for this afternoon's match are clear even this early in the season. Currently sitting mid-table, PSMS has a golden opportunity to climb the standings with back-to-back home victories. Confidence is high within the squad buoyed by a healthy roster and a renewed sense of finishing in front of goal. The coach's optimism centers on his team, fitness and their growing familiarity with the new stadium's playing surface. For Coach Kas Hartadi, the match has a personal element. Having previously coached Sriwijaya, he has called full professionalism for his players, putting any old loyalties aside. Wearing the captain's armband, South Korean defender Kim Jung-ho described the upcoming match as difficult but doable, emphasizing that disciplined teamwork will be the key to unlocking the Laskar Wong Kito's defense. A significant boost for the home side is the return of Argentine forward Felipe Cadenassi, who has been declared fully fit. He is expected to provide a crucial focal point in the attack, hold up play, and draw fouls in dangerous area around the penalty box. From the visitor side, Sriwijaya coach Ahmad Zulkifli said he brought a 23-man squad to Medan and is not playing on leaving empty-handed. Their explicit aims to secure at least 1 point on the road. Kick-off is scheduled for 15:30 West Indonesia time. From the North Sumatra Main Stadium, the media publikasi sport teams reports for WhatsApp Today.
This match is crucial test of consistency for PSMS, who must prove their recent victory was the start of a trend, not a fluke. With striker Felipe Cadenassi fully fit, expect PSMS to apply early pressure with crosses. Sriwijaya desperation for points may force them to play an open game, leaving them vulnerable to PSMS counter-attack. A key deciding factor will be set-piece execution. PSMS has been inefficient from corners and free kicks, and improving Hill could unlock the game, especially if they can score the first goal. The whistle blows at 3:30 p.m. If PSMS can control the tempo in midfield and provide good service to their striker, 3 points indefinitely within reach. But if Sriwijaya can weather through the storm, we could be in for a very tense finish. Enjoy the match. And that is our program for today. If this roundup helps you stay informed and ask better questions, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next update. On behalf of our entire crew, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next episode of What's Up Today.